This evening, it was brought to my realization that some people just don't want to see you change. I've been even led as far as to see that some people, they don't want to believe in change itself, because in believing in change, there is now a created ability to change what is so comfortable in their own lives. The sin and laziness that has infected them and that they've let go, unattended to. Now, of course, these people may not realize that this is the issue, but I'm confident that if they dig down deep enough, they'll discover it. And I'm just on here making a video to let anyone who falls into that category, especially regarding my situation, but truly anybody who doesn't believe in change for whatever reason, to know that Christ is the only administrator of good change. Because Christ is good. Not definitively, of course, but everything good is of Christ. And so therefore, without Christ, you have no good. And without good, you only have evil. Now, of course, evil can mask itself as good. But even the good things that are done of evil aren't good, because they derived their initiating points from evil. So, laziness and comfort in this sense, well, it's certainly not from God. Okay, and the change that's been administered in my life is, well, it's miraculous. Now, opening the video, I stated that it was brought to my attention this evening that this is the case, with people being restless in their comfort levels being encroached upon by the ability and the possibility of change, let alone it coming from Christ, a very most real being that they may or may not believe in. This came about in the rude awakening that certain people who have known me in the past do not believe in me, and they do not believe in the change that God has done in my life. And while I do understand where they're coming from, the fact that because someone can't evidently see a miraculous change, I don't believe is grounds for automatically throwing out change. Anyways, that's where I was. But then I started questioning myself, well, if these people can't see that I've changed, have I? Is it that they can't see a huge difference, or that they're just not looking close enough? Is it that nothing has been drastically replaced yet? Or is it that the sin that was there before is still prominent? And you see, the downfall of this, of this reality, of my reality rather, right now, in making this video, is that as I begin to draw my conclusions, I must truthfully tell you that even in realizing where they're coming from, I realize that there is some truth to what they've been saying. For right before this video and this text message that enlightened me into this is I was sinning. I was committing a sin that I've always struggled with, and I've certainly struggled with before my journey to this road less traveled. And so, yes, sin is still prominent in my life. Okay, but so is change. And that is not of my own accord. This sin is not even of my own accord. The sin is derived from Satan. Okay? Mine, implies that it is something that, at least I feel nowadays, implies that it is something that I have control over. And while, of course, we can claim that we do this or do that, or have the power to change this or change that, we don't. Okay? only by seeking Christ will you find Christ. There are instances, I believe, where Christ will reveal himself to certain people who would have never sought him in the first place. Now, is this to a degree true of everyone? I do not know. But the reason for my belief is this, is because that belief is me. I never sought Christ, but he came and found me. He came and got me. And he placed before me the ability to understand that I have to seek him. Yeah, he saved me. Yeah, he wants me. Yeah, he loves me. But I have to seek him. Okay, and in seeking him, he reveals himself more and more. He enables you more and more to continue seeking him. By reading his word, you're not getting anything. But by reading his word and walking with him, by reading his word and praying with him, by reading his word and asking for the ability to understand the wisdom that is in the word, that is the key to change. And all of that is derived from Christ, not from you. You're the vessel. And while your works are physically your own, they're not. They're not yours. So anyways, getting back to my original point, it's sad, you know, that change can only be, or is often only believed in by outward appearances. These are deceiving. Because just as wolves clothe themselves in sheep's clothing, and therefore what looks great is actually devastating inside, sometimes that which looks rough and looks bad on the outside is just still in the process of refining. Of course, we're all in the process of refining for our entire lives. But sometimes what we see is actually not at all what's inside. Especially when what we are looking at is something that we've seen through a certain perspective for so long that we've trained our eyes to only see that. And therefore we're creating our own perspective. We're creating our own understanding of that thing, or in this case, that person. And so I encourage you all, you know, today, this evening, it's late, so more realistically tomorrow and the following days to, you know, just, well, one, pray that God guides you through the Bible, and that the words that you read, the sermons you listen to, and all this, ask Him to give you the understanding that you're supposed to be getting from it. And don't just assume that by reading it or memorizing it, that's all there is to it. Of course, it's better to be in that book, of course, than you know, some atheistic book or some satanic rituals, whatever. Okay, but reading the Bible itself alone, or just saying a random prayer that, well, that is not from you, it's not where the growth is, okay? And that's not going to administer true miraculous change. But seeking Christ and asking Him to give that to you will. So I encourage you, like I said, to do that. And secondly, I also encourage you to not view people as only the outside appearance, especially those that you've known. Thank you.